Um, okay, guys, it's 8:30. As promised, I'm just gonna talk about. I've actually had many questions. Um, but tonight I'm just gonna talk about the one that my friend Adaya Bell. Shout out to my friend, owner of Loma Mama Company, who asked me why could I share why I changed my diet a year ago, which was 2020, the year of reckoning. So I'll just wait a second to see who comes on. It's like foggy in here because if you're following me in my stories, you saw that I was cooking some salmon earlier, so still pretty foggy in the crib. But I'm gonna just give it like another minute. I hope your day has been going well. My days feel a little all over the place. Today feels like Monday to me, but it's Tuesday, so I feel like I'm playing catch up or something. I don't know. But I hope your day is going well. I do. Ooh. Oh, oh. And you guys can ask questions in the comments. If you see this in the replay, you can ask it in the comments or you can DM me. We bow down before we pour it out. I sing everything. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start, y'all. Cause for those that don't know, I'm in school and I need to study. But this is your time. This is your moment. So why I have my notes here so that I don't ramble too long. But I pretty much started going really strong with my diet. Like I said, in 2020, I was already like going back and forth playing with it. In 2014, playing with my diet as far as like eating healthy. I'm not strict about it. There are some people that are strict, but I'm not that strict about it, and that confuses my family because they're like, "Oh, I thought you were vegan today," and I'm like, "I'm whatever I want to be. I'm eating whatever I want." But that's because I built the discipline. So let me not get ahead of myself. Like I said, I started in 2020. I guess the culprit was COVID. I did get COVID in March, the beginning of March. I didn't know it was COVID until I got tested a few months later and they found the antibodies, which tells you that you had it. And when I thought, I was like, ha, I had it then. And it felt like the worst sinus infection ever. I had a sinus headache situation for 5 days straight. I could not taste or smell for over a month. The fatigue and just restlessness, it felt like COVID for me felt like somebody was literally trying to hold my body down while I tried to walk or do anything. So that's how I explain the fatigue. Like if I was a puppet and the puppet master was like, you ain't going nowhere. That's how it felt when I tried to do anything. So I guess that's what really sparked it, because after that, it was recovery. If anyone of you guys have had COVID, you got to recover. In recovery, depending on how bad your case was, recovery can take a month, it can take 2 months, it can take 3 months. But for me, that fatigue lasted a minute, and the losing my taste and smell lasted a minute. And I also had an eczema outbreak I now know it was eczema because I went to the doctor recently, and we discussed some things, and I was like, that was eczema at the time. So I didn't even know that I was dealing with that like that. But anyways, I had an eczema outbreak. I had COVID, then I had an eczema outbreak, and it just being tired just felt like it wasn't getting any better. So then I started with isogenics, and with the protein shakes or nutrition shakes, whatever you want to call them. It's got 24 grams of protein in it. That helped me. That helped me with my energy. That helped me, satisfy me. That helped me with my taste. And that helped me with nutrients. Because, when you're sick, you don't really want to eat like that. Or if you want to eat, of course, remember, I couldn't taste. So because I couldn't taste, then that means sometimes it was like pointless to eat because I didn't have an appetite like that for a minute. So the protein shakes really helped me in that time. So the body ailments from that, and I also have car accident injuries. I had a really bad car accident in 2010. I talk about this a lot, but I'm a survivor. It's part of my story. For many things, but it is definitely a part of my story as far as my diet, because I broke my legs. I broke a few other things, but I mainly talk about how my legs were broken, and I have rods in my legs to this day. So, like the weather's been crazy in Georgia, so sometimes it's bothered, sometimes it doesn't. But like today, my knees, the screws, around my knees or around my hip joints can be irritated from the cold. When a rod, like a steel rod outside, is cold, just imagine when it's that cold, and just imagine when it's like in your body, and my body feels that, and it's just like, it doesn't feel good. So I was really tired of that as well, because I had that's up and down. But if I eat right, then it controls, the inflammation, and the pain, it controls that. So, again, I'm with Isogenics. They have, wellness patches. I got one right down my shoulder, right? I can't show y'all, but I have a wellness patch on right now, cause my shoulder was bothering me, but yeah, so the sluggishness, but those are big reasons why I started. So I started out with a food journal, but I had already, like I said, I've been playing with healthy eating for years, since like 2014. Last year I just really went hard with it and haven't really come down. Of course I have my moments, my times. Like, I literally have a Reese's that I had in the freezer waiting on me to eat it. So I don't down people with their cravings or whatever, because I do like the 80-20. I use the 80-20 rule when it comes to my eating. So 80% whole foods, 80% plant-based foods, but 20% whatever I want. So like earlier I had the salmon, but y'all didn't see this morning. I had one of my juices. I had a strong green juice. So I balance it out, and I encourage people to do the same. I encourage people I encourage you to, add more veggies, and then try different veggies, try colorful veggies, eat the rainbow, because our eyes, we eat with our eyes and our nose before our tongue. So pretty much you eat with your nose, then your eyes, then your tongue, because you're going to smell it, and then you be like, ooh, that smell good, I need to eat that. And then when you see it, you be like, oh, now you got that visualization going on. And then when you taste it, Okay, so I need y'all to eat the rainbow. Eat the rainbow. Eat you some purple cabbage instead of the green cabbage. Get you some purple cauliflower, some green cauliflower, some orange cauliflower instead of the white cauliflower. Get you some broccoli. Get you some asparagus. Get you some different color carrots. Like, there's so many different varieties of veggies. You don't have to stick to the same thing. So that's I'm gonna wrap it up because, like I said, it's pretty quick. Oh, I will share this. Another thing, I just started having the more I started juicing and changing my diet, then when I would try to go back to other foods or when I would eat out or something like that, I would quickly be aware of reactions that I would have to food. And I'll be like, I wonder what I ate, or I wonder what was in that. So I noticed, like, I like Bojangles fried chicken, but after I eat it, my hands swell up around here. So, the only time I'll eat it is if I feel like having sore, swollen joints from my hands, my nose, like my face, the salt. I'm sure it's the salt intake. just, but it really gets to my hands. I also notice with flour, like white flour. I should probably stop playing. But with white flour, I notice that I swell up as well because I had made some chicken with it at home, not from a store or anything. And, chicken, a lot of the meat, chicken, beef, lamb, all of that, a lot of the meat definitely has hormones and antibodies. But I ain't gonna do that to y'all today because we can be here all day with that. But yeah, I ate some flour. I used some flour or whatever, and I just used a little bit, but I had a flare up. So I'm like, okay. So I made some crispy jackfruit, or some fried jackfruit, and I used the same flour. So I'm like, maybe it's the chicken. It was the flour because I used the same flour and I had the same reaction. But when I went to use spelt flour or oat flour, I had no reaction. So I was like, it's the flour. So think of that. Like, if you're having certain reactions in your body, even if you're dealing with like inflammation, or when I say inflammation, I'm also referring to arthritis symptoms, carpal tunnel, all of that. Think about, what is in your food, what's in the bread, what kind of bread are you eating, what kind of seasonings are you intaking. Everybody's body is different, but you also need to think about that when you have some type of reaction. Acid reflux, certain things I cannot eat, it's a wrap. Acid reflux, flare it right on up. So yeah, that's it. So I hope that this answered one of the many questions. I'll be back next week to share about a juicer, because I did get questions, and I get this question a lot, on what kind of juicer to get, what's the difference once I begin naming them. And I'll just share my experience with that. Be sure to subscribe to the Limited Juice. Be sure to subscribe to my website for your juices, because I will be having a 30-day of healthy eating habits course come up very soon. So make sure you subscribe so you'll be the first one to know when that comes out. I did come out with the food journal, but that is in revising mode, so they can be available digitally. So yeah, I'm excited about that, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week. I look forward to your comments and questions in the DMs or wherever you try to locate me or find me, to ask me any type of questions about, healthy eating. Where do you start? I've had a couple people that I've helped. I still have people that I'm working on their start. They're just like, I just want to start. So where do I start? Start one meal at a time. Start one veggie at a time. Start one smoothie at a time. Start one juice at a time. But start like right now, or you'll never start. It'll always be an excuse of why you can't. I don't always want to eat right or do right, but I also don't want to be recovering for long periods of time or short periods. Sometimes I just don't want to be in that recovery mode. Like, why have to go through recovery after you've been redeemed? I'm just saying. So I'm gonna get to studying. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. See y'all later. Bye.